Hi everyone, I'm going to quickly run through how to do a quote. I'm just going to use our demo profile. So it's exactly the same as what everyone else has, just we've already completed obviously all the steps. Hopefully by this stage you've done that and away you go. So what we do, we go to the quoting, add a new quote. In case you've got multiple profiles, there's ways of doing it. Now I've already gone and measured out a floor plan of 180 square metre home. Measured everything out. I'm going to quickly run you through how to do that. I figured it's no good going and measuring it as part of an estimating. There are a couple of other things that I'll show you as we go through. But other ways you can actually do a quote without having to measure. So we go to the company. So it's our demo company. The client, I'll just go down. There you go. Is the client address the same as the job address? Yes, it is. We've got that there in case we're getting a rental property or doing anything like that. Charge out rate, we'll put it at $97 an hour. Your custom meter rates. Now, this was a repaint. Okay. Job type. Now we're doing preparation on the job and we're doing the interior. So what happens is when you click those, it opens up these windows here below you. So you can see you can do the exterior, bang, it'll open this up as soon as you get rid of the exterior. There, it'll remove that. So you can add or remove what areas you're doing as you're going through the quote. So your prep type, see, I'll add in there extras as well, just so I can take you through and show you a different way of doing things if you want to quote a different way. So preparation. As part of the preparation on this particular job, prep type, general preparation, you've got lead paint, pressure wash. If you guys want anything added in here, let us know, and we're more than happy to accommodate that. In there, general preparation, you don't need comments. You will have already had your comments when you've gone up and done your the company, set up your company profile. You should actually already have those in there. If you haven't, you can add comments to it. Now, on this particular one, I was looking at about 4 hours preparation, which if through, that's going to just give me that hourly rate. So that just allows for that 4 hours of general preparation on the job. Now we move to the interior. So what you do is you add new. Okay, so charge out rates automatically populated. Now you can name your rooms. So you can walk into a house and you can say, okay, hallway. From there, you can go what you're going to paint in the hallway. So you're going to paint ceilings, your walls, your doors, your windows, your frames, the skirting's probably not covered. You can do it that way. Okay, so or another way you can do it is if you're painting the entire house, which is how I'm going to quote this one. Okay, so I'm doing all rooms. Okay, so just saves me having to go through and do the same thing 10 times. I'm just going to do this for all the rooms. So the house, I've gone through and measured up the house. The ceilings are 180 square meters. So I'm just going to put in 18 by 10. Now, if you're just doing one room, obviously you do the length. So say your hallway's 5 meters long and 2 meters wide. So that would just be your hallway room. Then you go to the bedroom and so on, and you put in a 3 meter bedroom by 3 meter bedroom for your ceiling. So it gives you your meterage. The substrate in this one was plasterboard, and the number of coats we're going to do is a 2-coat system. Okay, so, and that gives the total to the ceilings for the entire house. Once again, you can add any comments if you're excluding an area or something like that. So say, for instance, you're excluding a bathroom that they've had renovated, just put in exclude bathroom because you are covering all their rooms and that will show up. Now for the walls, the height of the walls is a 2.4 ceiling and the wall length total was 218 metres, so 218. And I'll total that up. That gives us the square meterage. Substrate, once again, it's plasterboard. And as I said before, if you're wanting to add anything to these, please feel free and reach out and we can add those into there. Number of coats, 2-coat system to repaint. Okay, so that allows for the painting to the walls. In this house, there were 12 doors. The door types, they were just flat panel, slash panel. Number of coats is, and the door frame, sorry. So we'll move to the door frames as well. The door frames, there were 12. Yep, 12 of them. Okay, and they're going to be painted as well. Painted door frame, number of coats, 2-coat system. If you say, for instance, if you're doing doors, or I'll show you that after, but these are total for your 12 doors, what we've worked out. So that you can go and adjust those if you choose. Okay. Now, comments again. There's no windows. Okay, so skirting. Sorry, there were no windows. Oops, we missed it. So this is where go in, come back, hit the windows, load them in. Okay, so in this job, the windows were all aluminium. So there were no windows to be painted, but the frames only. So there was 77 meters of window frame, with it being an aluminium house, no windows. Paint them, number of coats, 2-coat system. and it calculates there that based on the rates, as you should have already gone in here and set your custom meter rates, for what you had. I'm just off our base industry rates that we work off. Now, skirtings, there was 207 metres of skirtings. They're going to be painted. It's going to be a two-coat system. Now, with this, depending on what you've got, you may be doing the skirtings in the walls. So you may add that, but you may not put a meterage in because you're only going to cut in the skirts at the same time. If you're doing it in the wall colour, it's if you're highlighting, obviously, it's $1,000 save for the customer. If that's, if you're wanting to do it in a different colour. So that's just something to think about when you're quoting. I didn't put in cupboards because I've already actually measured those and included those in, but it's exactly the same. Just measure out here. If you add in all your built-ins. So yeah, it's your height, the width and the length. It'll give you the square meterage, substrate, all of those sorts of things. Okay. So this automatically populates, as I said. So we'll just get that from there. Okay. So add any comments. Just hit the refresh button because I moved a couple of things. So what you'd expect on this particular job would be 95 hours, which gives you your total value as well. The areas that it's automatically populated of what you've clicked, you can add any additional comments into that. We'll save that into there. Now, if you say, for instance, if you were doing it room by room, bang, you can just add and away you go with the next room. And you can do it room by room and it'll actually break all of those down. So it's handy if you're only doing partial. Now, extras. Now, this is for people that don't want to measure, they want to work. When I was quoting, I never measured anything. I walked in, I knew this room was going to take 10 hours, that room was going to take 4, whatever, depending on what it was. So we've set this up that you can do it that way. So you can do it by hours. Okay. So if you're walking in, once again, we custom set that rate. You can change that rate at any time in any of these. So you can say, okay, we're going to change this part to 100 hours or $100 an hour, $120 an hour, whichever you want. You can change these, but it will bring in that base rate that you put in at the beginning. It just makes it a little bit easier. So, but let's just say you're going to paint this bedroom. Okay. So you've got bedroom one. Okay. Now, the hours, you worked out that that's going to take you 10 hours. Okay. You add any comments that you want to add to it. So you might say all areas or ceilings, walls, doors, frames. You can add all of those sorts of things in. So it's very simple. You might just be painting the doors in the house, so you can do that. So you can save that and that's just going to populate across. Okay. Whatever comments you put in, I'll go and edit here. Go. So you can actually go, if you muck something up, it's pretty simple. Just go back and edit, or you can delete it and you can make any changes. Okay, so we've got on each item. So if you've got 7 different items in there, it makes it fairly simple for you. So we'll just delete that one. That just shows you that if you want to just break it down to an hourly rate, you can. So it's not all about just measuring. So from there, as you go through the job, we suggest that you take some photos, have a look at what's there, take photos of the property as you go through. These are just images from different jobs, different houses, different things that we've done over time. This is actually really important, I feel, for the client. You're giving them a feeling of well, actually, this is my house. This is, puts a bit of energy into it, giving them a sense of you actually care, you're showing that there's a bit different and things like that. So this is where, as a business owner, you want to stand out from the other tradies out there. So this is where you can do that by doing this sort of thing. And as I said, we've made it simple that you can literally just go to your phone, if you're doing it on your phone or your tablet, or, and take your photos and away you go. And these 6 photos will automatically populate right across all of the quote at the end. So if you say, for instance, you're coming along and you notice that there's paint all over the driveway or the concrete areas or timber decks you aren't painting or wherever there's paint on the carpet that you found before you start, what you can do, you can actually take a heap of photos here and you can upload those images, put the quote number in, and you can save that, to the quote, you might put the client's name, and that will actually get saved there as a record. So you've got proof that, hang on, no, there was paint already there. So it's just a little protection thing there, but you will only get the 6 images that do go and load up on the quote. So from here, we then go to pick up the paints. So you pick your paints or your materials. So you've got your options here. So you can do your paints at a percentage. So what happens there, you just refresh there. So if you're doing your paints at a percentage of the job, rough figures are between 12 and 15% generally will be your material costs for an average small business. If you're getting larger companies, obviously that's a different thing with this, but for a small company, you're looking at around about 12 to 15%. We've just got a stock standard. You can change that. So you can go in there at any time and say, no, I'm going to change that to 20%, and that will adjust your material costs, which in turn adjusts everything across the board. So we can just leave that at that for the moment. Or your other option is you can actually select the paint. So if you've gone in and you've gone into the paint library, there's another video about how to do this. You go to the paint library and you've set your prices. Now in this, we've just got our stock standard prices. It will spit out the meters that need to be painted. So you've got 360 meters. Now that works out that it's 180 square meters is what the house was. So it's doubled it because it's two coats. The walls, it's doubled it. It's two coats. The doors, so on and so forth, because of the multiple coats. Okay, so it's actually worked out how many litres you need for each substrate. So what you do is you just select the paint, you go add now. We'll just quickly do the ceilings. So you can do individual areas, okay, that can make it easier for you. So you add your ceiling. You want your, we can put the ceiling in there already, sorry. Add the ceiling, 360 metres, select the paint. Let's just have a quick look. Resine, there we go. It tells you need 27 litres. So you need to get 3 drums at 10 litres. And that tells you 300 litres. And you've got 2.3 litres left over. So it's, so you've got enough paint to certainly do the job at the specified rates of the job. So that's just how quick that is. So you can save that. I'll go back and let you add a new one. And the next area is your walls. So you add the walls, because obviously each substrate's going to be different. Your paints, where are we? Your ceiling. I've only got some of them in here. Wash it there. There we go. Let's just quickly hit that. Shows you 65 litres, 15 litre 10. So you're going to need 5, and away you go. Okay, you're going to have 10 litres left over of the 15. You can go and put in 10 litres and all of the different things. We just haven't put all of them into our selected paint library. You add that to there, and that actually tells you how many litres extra you've got, what your actual cost is, so that adds up to your material costs down here. It makes a difference there, okay, when you refresh that. So that, refresh that, recalculate it all. So there's your material costs. Now, we've set that at $10 per litre back in here in the paint library. So based on, and of course it's based on the recommended spread rates of the paint manufacturers. So from there, we'll just quickly delete this and I'll take it back to the full. So we've got the whole thing there, the materials. Let's board it back. Materials at 20% again, just do refresh, calculations, and away you go. Now, from there, we've set up an area here, and I'm going to leave that. I'll come back to this in a second because I just want to show you what happens when you submit something, that it will actually pick up a defect, that something's missed. So it does have those defaults in it. So I'll just leave the home warranty insurance. Now, the home warranty insurance is for Queensland only. It will show up if the address is a Queensland-based address. It won't show up if you're in New South Wales or Victoria or anywhere outside Queensland. So what we do from there, you just draw your signature, and we'll go in, and I'll show you quickly. Hit there, brings up the table, 15,000. So it would be 16. Copy that, and you just go back to the quote, and we paste that into there. Sorry, number. There you go. So that's all adjusted to there. When we refresh it, recalculate. Yep, there you go. It's recalculated. So it's in there. Okay, now from there, I'm going to submit. Now, as I know, this is going to come up showing there's an error. Okay, invalid entries found. So what happens here is we've got this field here that is job setup and pack up. So when you're doing a repaint, you generally lose, at least an hour in time of when you turn up to the job. You set up your drop sheets. At the end of the day, you clean up because people are living in the house. So you've got to have it be flexible for them. So you actually lose, and we've put an allowance in for an hour, so that recalculates to here. So you add that, and that will actually adjust your hours. So suddenly, if you see, because all the spread rates and all these application rates that we've put into the quote, when you are applying product or you're filling, you're prepping, you're doing. So that's when you're actually doing work that is progressing the job. This is designed for your setup and pack up, basically. So we put that in. We'll hit refresh on that again, and that will make the adjustment right through. As you can see, we set that. That's now got to jump to 18. So we'll go back to the home warranty insurance premium. So 18,000. Once again, this is 314.75. There you go. And once again, we would just recalculate, and that's the job price. So that'll all show out on the quote. Now we'll submit it. So this is where it does its magic. Okay, here's the quote that we've done. So we just go and have a look at the quote. Shows up. You've got, you can do a quick scan over it. Everything's there. Your signature's on it. All of those sorts of things. Now from here, you just want to turn this into a PDF. So this turns it into the product that you send to the client. So obviously you've got your logo there, the business name, client's details, and whatnot. That's just your front cover page. So we export that. That goes into the downloads. It's just downloading for me now. So it opens it all up. And here's your quote. So your quote, you've got the areas, you've got the photos, your quote, you've got all of the preparation, what you're going to do for the entire job, all your terms and conditions, signatures, prices, the whole lot in there with a grand total. That's your quote that you can then email to the client. Easiest way of doing it. Yep, you've got the download there and send that off to your client. So that's how you do a quote. If you have any questions or you'd like anything added to it, any addition, please reach out. We'd be grateful to get those. And, all it's going to do is make a better system for yourselves. We've started it out at this point. And if you've got any, go again. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I hope this gave you a great idea of how this all works. So everyone, take care. Look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.